Pretty sure. Pretty sure we're streaming. Oof. Don't want to get the headphones crossed with the controller cord. What's up, folks? It's Joe. It's my birthday. So we're doing a birthday stream. Eric is online, but he's not here yet. But he will be. Okay, good deal. Switch that to chat only so I can watch the chat. So yeah. Hope everyone's doing alright tonight. Starting, you know, it's my birthday stream, so I can do whatever I want. And we're doing the PC Engine Super CD version of Double Dragon 2 to start with. I don't know where we'll go from there, but we're kicking it off with this. One of the earlier episodes, the same name, different game, covers this this game. And yeah, it's an interesting one. It's a port of a port, kind of. This game is not based on the arcade version of Double Dragon 2: The Revenge, but is in fact based. We don't want that off. Yeah, this is a port of the NES version, which is kind of a port of the arcade version, but not really. It's really like a totally different game. As you can see, there's some anime-style cutscenes added to this, because, you know, CDs. Okay, we're going to skip that. We're actually going to start playing the game. I actually really like the stylized way that they look in the cutscenes, but then when you play the game, as you'll see in a second, Billy and Jimmy don't actually look anything like they look in those stylized cutscenes. So right now it's set to one player because I only have one controller. Part of the reason that I want to do this is because I got an extension cord for my PC Engine. These controller cables are super short. Like, they're longer than a GameCube cable, maybe by a little bit, but it's not great. So I recently got an extension cable from console5.com. They did not pay me to say that. And it works perfectly. I put it through its paces, used my 6-button controller, used my 3-button controller, plugged my multi-tap directly into it, and then plugged 3 controllers into the multi-tap with Bomberman, and it works really great. So now I can actually play PC Engine games while, like, leaning back in the chair without being hunched over, without having to, like, set the PC Engine, like, on the ottoman and pull it out from the entertainment center to play. It's pretty cool. So I'm doing that. Like I said, so that's why I decided I wanted to start with this. I haven't played through this game. I don't think I've actually played through this game since I played through it for that episode of Same Name Different Game. 8 or 9 years ago, that was. So actually, I didn't pay a ton for this game. This is actually a pretty expensive game, generally speaking, but I managed to get a pretty good deal on it just because I waited. I did I think if memory serves, I think I got this in open auction on eBay. You know, like one of those like starts at $1, no reserve kind of deal. And there was a pretty long time when most PC Engine games, and I do stress most PC Engine games were not very expensive. And actually, if you listen to old episodes of our podcast, you probably even watch some of the old streams in the archive and stuff. I talk about collecting for PC Engine used to be really easy and really cheap. It was American TurboGrafx games that cost a lot of money. But for the most part, you could really dig into the PC Engine library pretty cheaply. Those days are mostly gone now. When I got my PC Engine 10 years ago, after wanting one for my whole life, I lusted after the TurboGrafx, etc. I finally got one, and I was able to buy a bunch of games, right off the bat. Games that I knew I wanted. I got all 3 of the Fire Pro games on the system for... sorry, all 3 of the HuCard Fire Pro games on the system for dollars. I want to say the shipping from Japan was more expensive than the games themselves. And even stuff like Salamander, which was the first episode of Same Game, Different Game, and one of the games I absolutely felt like I needed to have on the system. My copy of Salamander doesn't have the OB, so I guess complete isn't totally accurate. Snarkcast says my channel still says I'm playing River City Girls. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. It's a beat 'em up. It's close enough. I didn't think to change it. I don't feel like getting up to change it now. I don't care. The archive will be correct, which is probably how most people end up watching this. So, whatever. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Good looking out. But yeah, so PC Engine games used to be really cheap, and now they're just not anymore. Those days are pretty much over. A lot of that, usually the Japanese version of a game is cheaper than the American. If the game has a Japanese and American version, you can pretty safely assume... Oh, come on! Yeah, take that. If there is a Japanese and a US version of a game, you can pretty safely assume that the Japanese version is going to be considerably cheaper. But sort of gone are the days where that means a lot cheaper. Or that games that never came out in the US, those games are not going to be cheap, generally speaking. And there's not really... there we go. I was gonna say, the knee lift is really hard to pull off in this game, in this version. The uppercut is pretty easy to pull off. The knee, less so. The uppercut still has a ton of damage, though. We're just gonna spin kick Burnoff to death. This game, I think I got it for $50. The going rate was close to 100 when I got it, but again, it's not. This one's not complete either. It doesn't have the OB. It has everything else. It was going for in the 80 to 100 range in that condition at the time. Now, I don't even know. It's probably in the $150 to $200 range, I would guess. Maybe even higher. But yeah, PC Engine games in general, they've just gone up. Japanese Saturn games, kind of same thing. Similar to the PC Engine, if there's an American and a Japanese version of a Sega Saturn game, the Japanese version is pretty universally going to be cheaper. But the difference is not as dramatic as it once was, and Japanese exclusives are not as cheap as they once were. And the reason on both of those is pretty much the same, which is that both systems were considerably less successful in Japan than they were here. So there's a lot more copies of basically everything in Japan because, you know, the TurboGrafx did like pretty abysmally in the United States. But was actually quite successful in Japan. So you know, games that are pretty mundane in Japan, you know, that are a dime a dozen are quite a bit rarer here just because they didn't make nearly as many of them. You know, something like Magical Chase is expensive no matter where you go, but the American version is, you know, thousands of dollars or whatever. And the Japanese version is, I think, maybe hundreds. I don't know. But this is a big part of why I really like the flash carts and the optical drive emulators and stuff. Because now people don't have to pay that kind of money to play these games on original hardware. You know, I don't have an optical drive solution for my PC Engine. There's the SSD3. I don't have one of those, I just have another drive. So I can play card games, turbo chip games, but I cannot play CD games on my... without having the actual... without, you know, although you can burn them. The generally sort of agreed upon move is to get some good quality CDs. People usually recommend Taiyo Yuden CDs, Taiyo Yuden brands, and burn them at single speed. With the lowest speed your burner will let you burn them. You know, and that is generally considered the way to go. To get good quality burns. And of course there's going to be there's conflicting accounts about, like, you know, oh, this, you know, I used burn CDs and it ruined the laser and the motor on my CD because of whatever. I'm dubious of some of those claims. But yeah, this is an actual copy of the game, if you're curious. I like that they fly a helicopter into a bigger helicopter. Snarkcast says, despite the dialogue being in Japanese, it's still Jimmy talking in Ego Raptor's voice. He's made an impression on a lot of people, I think. So, this stage is bigger than it was in the NES version. And therefore it is a little harder to toss dudes out the window. But it's not impossible. We'd really like to blow that Abobo out the door. That would be aces if we could get him out the door. Hey, there's somebody.
No, it's not.
No, it's nobody.
Joe, do not blow a Bobo.
I will not. Can I say how cool I thought it was when, minor spoilers, Abobo shows up in River City Girls?
What?
Yeah. Oh, man, he does so much damage in this game. I mean, he does a lot of damage in every game, I guess, but...
He's a Bobo.
That's true. It's true. So how are you doing this evening, Eric? You playing Destiny?
I just booted up after downloading the update, so...
Playing the role of Alex Rio tonight.
Yeah, all I'm gonna do is talk about stuff in Destiny. Check out this new thing I got. It's really good, or bad.
Or maybe it's bad, yeah. Hypebot says
Flight
that...
shot, something. I don't know, whatever.
Hypebot
Flight
says
shot
that...
grave robber. This is terrible. Oh no. So what's going on, Joe?
You know, playing some Double Dragon 2 on the PC Engine Super CD.
Mm-hmm. Looks a lot like Double Dragon.
Yeah, it's a lot like Double Dragon. So, I am actually, this is
Weird faces.
a lot of weird faces.
Double Dragon 2 weird faces mod.
I'm playing this game because, in part, because I said at the top of the stream, I got an extension cord for my PC Engine this past week from Console5.com, who sells like pretty cheap controller extensions for just a ton of different controllers. And these controller cords are just like the shortest thing this side of the GameCube. They also have GameCube extension cords. If you want to sit far away from your TV and still have rumble, you know.
Uh-huh.
That's what you'd use that But
Fucking piece of crap. Wave birds don't have rumble.
the Ravebird was like a revelation, though, right? Like, remember the first time? I don't know if you got one right
Never had
away.
'em,
Oh,
no.
see, I had one. I got one like right away, and I was like, "This is amazing! I feel so free." uh, but yeah, man, like this. They make these, and I really put it through its paces, man. I wanted to make sure like my $3 that I paid for this extension cord was well spent, so I made sure it worked with my Avenue 6 pad for Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. You know, because there's like all of, I don't know, 4 or 5 6-button compatible games in the PC Engine. But I do own at least 2 of them, so you know, you got to be sure. But it's just really great that I can now, like, before, if I wanted to play games and sit in this chair and be comfortable, I had to, like, pull the PC Engine off of the shelf. Like, I think the last time I played PC Engine, to sit comfortably, I had to plug it into a different outlet than it's plugged in normally, pull it off of the shelf and set it on the ottoman, and then, like, put the ottoman halfway between me and the chair. Or, me and the chair and the entertainment center. And have the cord reach me all the way, and it was just like a huge pain in the ass. And so now I have this 6-foot controller cable, you know, which is pretty great. Although I just saw that Hyperkin is making a controller for the PC Engine. I think I'm gonna see about checking out one of those because I like their NES controller. They made an NES controller called the Cadet. It has a kind of a rounded back to be a little more contoured to your hands, and it has a 10-foot cord.
Cool.
Which is nice, and they're not expensive. Like, you can get a Cadet from Amazon for like $10 or maybe a little less than that. And like the build quality feels like pretty solid. It doesn't feel quite as solid as like an actual original Nintendo controller.
It's one of the few things about the original Nintendo controller that you can. It's one of the few positive things you can say about it.
Yeah, the build quality
Very
is
well built.
just extremely sturdy. Yeah, but I know that. But also, I think 8-Bit Do makes a kit where you can open up your NES controller and turn it into a wireless, like, Bluetooth controller. Like, they make a kit that comes with a receiver, and it transforms a real NES controller into a wireless controller. And I've thought about getting one of those, but I don't know that I really want to do that. Not that that's... I mean, I have a game bit, so I can open them pretty easily. I just don't know that I need to do that. I don't know. But I'm really into this whole thing lately where there's a lot of options for controllers on old systems that, you know, previously there weren't a lot of great options for. Like, there's like 3 options for alternative N64 controllers now, you know, that are in many ways better than the default N64 controller, which is not great. So yeah. So what have you been playing anything besides Destiny 2?
Mostly a lot of Children of Morta. That game was
Still good. I was thinking about finishing Control tonight, but I didn't want to stream like the last hour of that game because I felt like if someone tuned in and hadn't played it, be like totally lost, and if they wanted to play it, like completely spoiled on what the hell is going, you know. So I opted not to do that, but I'm just about done with Control. And then I think I'm finally gonna get started on Death Stranding soon.
Oh boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
When that gets to be like, I'm going to give that a shot when it gets like $20. I think it'd be
Yeah.
might be my buy-in price for that.
I mean, you know, it's. I feel like with a lot of games, like that ends up being sooner rather than later. What did I just see today? Oh, Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order, the complete edition, is on sale. Come on. I hate the platforming sections in this game. They're not good in this version either.
All double
And, like,
dragons.
Yeah. You probably noticed I just lost like 3 lives falling in the damn water. Like, yeah. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is on sale for $50 for the complete edition, which I think is the one that includes the season pass and retailed for $70 or $80 like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, I don't know, I pay full price for new games so rarely. Like, I think the only game that I actually paid full, like, this game just came out, I'm paying the $60 asking price or whatever, $65 asking price was Resident Evil 2. And that was in January. I think that was the only one that I went full retail $60+ on. I don't think any other game this year. Because if you wait, like, a week or two on new games, you can already get them on sale, or you can get them, or if I get them from GameFly, I get them at basically like a used price. I end up paying like $10 or $15, less than asking. There's just no reason to pay unless you really want to play it day one. Which for me that was Resident Evil 2. But like, there's just not like.
Yeah,
There's no reason to pay $60 for any video.
You can get them for $5 or $10 off, even like the day they come out most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just no reason to pay full price for a $60 game.
I paid full price for Star Wars.
You paid full price for Control. Yeah, I feel like you paid full price.
Or no, that was, I think I got that for like, it was like $5 off or something.
Oh, it might have already been, like $5 off. With indie games, I don't mind. I mean, I really, for true indie games, like, I don't mind, when it's an indie developer is getting most of the money. I really don't mind paying the full $20 or $30 or whatever. But even cheaper games, I don't mind. But $60 is a big ask
to play like 2 or 3 weeks before.
Right. Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, and again, like, it's $60 is Valfaris or whatever. Like, if I pay $25 for that, like, that's a lot less than 65 or whatever. Obviously, it's $40 less.
Valfaris is pretty good, by the way. I played some of that too.
Yeah, that's
But there's like
very much on my list.
New Hearthstone expansion just came out, and Children of Morta has really been the thing that's kind of been sucking up all my game time the last couple of
but
week
also
or so here.
My Ewok. Come here. Dog. There's another dog. I don't know if you can see the other dog.
What's up, dog? I see the mop dog.
Yeah, the mop dog's here, but there's another guy here. But I don't think he's Deuce. Go on, buddy. I don't think he's tall enough to be in the shot.
I see a tail.
Yeah, well, there you go. You saw a tail. Okay,
Roger. Last word. Bad omens.
Skipping the cutscene.
What?
Yeah, I know. Really important story information in Double Dragon 2 that you need to have. I'm gonna adjust this blanket. What the hell was I saying before my wife brought the dog in here?
Oh, man, they gave me one of the new finishers you can buy is a flash kick.
Nice. Wait, Hearthstone? What are we talking about?
No, in Destiny 2.
Oh, sick.
They added finishers and that's one of the new ones. But that's fun.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I'm going to spend $8 on it, because I already spent $8 on a drop kick last season. So.
Yeah. So how much Valfaris did you play? How far into it did you get?
I beat the second boss, I think.
Okay. And you said it's not really that much like Contra, despite a lot of people calling it a
No,
Contra
it doesn't.
alike.
It really has like nothing in common. Playing it doesn't feel anything like playing Contra.
Does it feel kind of like Metal Slug at all, or not even really like, or more like
More
Metroid?
like that. Like there's like a melee that you have. I was trying to think of like better comp for it in the annals of video games. Yeah, I don't know. Calling it Contra just isn't. I mean, it is a run and gun game, so it like has some.
So that's the
content,
frame of reference everyone's going to have for it.
but it just doesn't like. There's some you can't really like run and shoot constantly, and the way the guns work is different and stuff. What is?
But
Is your dog like licking your microphone or something?
no, my hands are right by the mic, so that might be.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Let me-
But I
yeah,
don't
I'll
think
move
it's
him
like-
back because she's
It's
sitting
okay, it
on me.
doesn't-
I moved my hands like
It's not really
forward to
bothering
be
me. I just wondered.
what the hell it
but-
was. Yeah, no, I'll move him back.
Very. Are the buttons on that controller really creaky or something?
The D-pad is pretty creaky. Yeah,
Okay.
every beat 'em up needs an elevator. My question for you though, Billy Lee, is why the hell did you leave your shovel outside the elevator? Why wouldn't you take it in there with you? So the soundtrack to this game, I feel, is one of the great missteps of Red Book Audio. Like, they were like, we got CD power, man. Let's put some like weird ass smooth jazz in a Double Dragon game. And I'm like, yeah, man. Nothing makes me want to beat the shit out of someone like some Kenny G ass saxophone. Like, that's exactly what I want in my brawler. Like, it's mystifying. Like, they could have just gotten a dude with a guitar to like shred out the original melodies, you know, and it's like it would have been great. But instead, they just did like totally
I
new
need butter,
compositions.
don't we all, huh?
Did you say you need butter, Mike?
It's Mike.
Mike needs butter, apparently.
So you just send a message and
Yeah, sure.
leave a post on a telephone pole, and somebody will drop some off for you.
I mean, we can only hope.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, I guess maybe I wasn't hearing you before.
We've been talking
Okay.
about your weird need for butter.
Man, it's not weird. Nothing weird about that.
Did you know you were on Discord last night?
Yeah, I went on
Okay.
Discord to hang out and see if anyone showed up, and then no one did, as far as I'm aware.
I was on. I could hear you were talking to Vio, I think, at some point, but
Could be.
you weren't responding to me.
Didn't have anybody else to talk to.
I was there for like 20 minutes, but
Oh. Well, I guess, I don't know, my phone went to sleep or something.
yeah, that's okay.
I was on for like
But I
a
was-
second while I saw you on, but I
I
wasn't
thought maybe
hanging
you
out.
were
and-
accidentally just like connected to it on your phone or something.
No, I was just doing some Euro trucking and thought I'd
I
hang
thought
out.
you were doing American trucking now, Mike. I thought you were an American.
I am a bicontinental trucker.
Bullshit. Choose one.
Europe.
Well, fine then. Screw you, buddy.
The trucks are cooler.
Are they? Wait,
Yeah,
do they
this
come with
one's
Jean
cool.
Claude Van Damme? Because if they do,
They
then
could.
But do they?
At least it's the kind of truck that Jean-Claude Van Damme would stand on, you know?
Okay. Well, fair enough.
So, what you running there?
This is Double Dragon 2: The Revenge on the PC Engine Super CD.
Are you playing this on original hardware, or is this a
I'm
Mr. Joint?
playing this. No, actually, that's why I was on Discord last night, because a lovely gentleman from the Smoke Monster Discord was fixing my Mister, and I had to make arrangements to pay him.
Oops, what happened to your Mister?
So I really need to get like rubber feet or a rubber mat for it because it slid off my shelf.
Oops.
And the USB hub was plugged into the micro USB, so it slid off and it impacted like directly straight down on it and then snapped the micro USB port off of the board.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a problem. So I was like, I don't know how to do this, and I called a couple computer repair shops around Nashville, and one of them was like, we don't do soldering. And I was like,
Okay.
what do you do? Like, you're a computer repair shop, so what do you do if you
Well,
don't
they
do
reboot the
soldering?
computer, and if
Yeah,
that doesn't work,
right.
they reboot it a second time.
Yeah, right. And then another place I called was like, oh, it's like I don't think they understood that this was not like a full-size desktop computer, because they were like, well, it's $50 to do a diagnostic. And I was like, you don't need to do a diagnostic, my dude. The USB hub or port snapped off the board.
Man, you
like,
know
that's
they're
what's
just used
wrong
to
with
working
it.
with people who don't know anything about computers, so they treat everybody like morons.
Well, I think that part of it, because I get it. Like when my dad owned an auto repair shop, we used to charge $50 to do like a diagnostic because people would come. If you don't do that, people just come and they want you to tell them what the problem is, and then they
And they
like
can try and go fix it. or
try to
fix
get their
something
uncle to
cheaper.
fix it for them or whatever. Yeah, right. So, you know, I get it, but I was like, there's no way it's going to cost $50, because then they're like, well, and it comes off, you know, it's $50 to look at it, and then that comes off of, you know, the cost of
repair
whatever
job.
it costs to repair it. I'm like, it ain't going to cost $50 to fucking solder a USB hub or port back on, dude. Like, so I was like, okay, we'll bag that. So I just went to the Smoke Monster Discord and I was like, hey, you guys are all Mr. Freaks. Like, can anybody fix this for me? And one dude was like, yeah, man, I can do it. It'll be
Mr.
like,
Freak is my least favorite Pokemon.
Was he local to you, or did you mail it?
no, he's in Pennsylvania. So I mailed it. So it cost me like, I put it in a flat rate box, so it cost like $7 to mail it each way, and he charged me $10 to solder it back on.
Fair enough.
So-
I was gonna say maybe you should have just bought yourself a soldering iron.
I'm planning to
learn.
do that actually, but this one, I mean, the dude said he's like, so I'm gonna take a look at it under the microscope, and I'll probably solder it while I have like this seems like it is not a beginner soldering project because the
Okay.
pads are like very tiny
Right.
on this.
Got it.
But I am planning on getting a soldering iron, and because I have a busted Neo Geo.
That guy's just flying all over the place.
Destiny
he really
2
is.
name update. Okay, Google, anime thighs.
Is that your Destiny updated name now?
No, that's
Or
just
that's just the
the
dude you're
people
playing
that
with.
you run into when you're playing Destiny 2.
What was
That's
the one that we were
fucking
cracking
good.
up about like 2 or 3 weeks ago? That
I have no
think it was
idea.
Alex was playing with.
There's a lot of good ones.
So hey Joe, does this level still suck on the TG16?
It sucks less as you just.
Looks
if
less
you-
sucky to me.
I was gonna say you should be able to see me just hop up those platforms. It's
Yeah, that
less
didn't
sucky.
seem like it was too bad.
So the thing is that you have like a Simon Belmont-esque defined jump arc in this version.
Yeah.
So it's really like they spaced the platforms apart, like exactly
The correct amount.
How far? Yeah. So it's really just a matter of like jumping, turning around, jumping. There are some
My
places
memory on the
where it still
Nintendo, it was
sucks.
just sluggish, and it was problematic because it was sluggish and you didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah, that was part of it too. But no, it's less bogus here.
It's so weird to have all these anime cutscenes between every level.
Yeah.
Or the anime thighs in Double Dragon 2. How do they stack
They
up?
exist.
They're here for sure, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get a soldering iron because I have an extra Genesis and an extra Neo Geo MVS board, and I would like to sort of try to do some stuff with those.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
it's
you're,
sort of
you're getting
like-
into arcade hardware, so I think soldering is definitely going to be in your future.
Right. So I want to try to like. So I had 2 MVS boards that. Oh come on. I had 2 MVS boards that didn't work, and the second one, like the dude tried to make me jump through a bunch of hoops, and I was just not having it. I was like, look, dude. He's like, well, our distributor, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care about your distributor, man. You sold this thing to me as working. It's not working. I sent you pictures of it not working. Like, if you're not going to help me out, I'm just going to file the return with eBay. And so when I did that, because he just went radio silent after that. So when I filed the return with eBay, he just ended up giving me the money back and not asking me to send it back to him.
Oh, okay.
Probably because he got it for like pennies on the dollar in Hong Kong or some fucking place, and paying to send it back would cost him more than just dealing with it and letting me keep it. So I'm gonna try to replace the crystal, because the error that it's getting is indicative of there's a quartz crystal that goes on the board that keeps track of timing, I guess, basically, and if that goes bad, the thing won't even boot properly.
You gotta go dissect yourself a swatch.
No, you can just order the correct crystal.
It won't be period appropriate.
Well, that might be true, but it will work. so, yeah.
I don't know. They don't make quartz like they used to.
I mean, don't they? Is there like low background radiation quartz that I need to know about, or?
You gotta get out your diving bell and fucking go down to the bottom of the ocean. It's the only place to.
Wow, that was bullshit. That game just spawned you on the gear.
Yeah, I sure did. This section seems like it's even more bullshit than the NES version. It's been so long since I played this. Yeah, I think this is going to be the end of this game for me. Oh, no, I made it. But I only have no lives and no credits. I'm out of credits. I don't think there's a code for more. If there is, I'm not aware of it. So if you want to look at GameFAQs and see if there is one, I mean, I'll take it. But,
oh, well, this is about as far as I make it when playing NES Double Dragon 2 also.
Yeah,
so.
Same. The Japanese version, which is available on Switch Online if you have a Japanese account, actually lets you continue. So.
Oh, nice.
And also, you don't have to play on Grandmaster to see the actual ending and fight the real last boss. So.
It doesn't look like it controls quite as well as the NES version, though.
It doesn't. It's really interesting looking, and it's like it's a fun alternative. But I think the NES version is actually a better game than this version.
The NES version's a pretty solid game, so.
That's true. It is.
I mean,
it's one of the best beat 'em ups on the NES.
Oh yeah, I don't know where I'd put it exactly, but definitely like in the top 20 or so.
Of
NES games.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't think there are 20 beat 'em ups on the NES, and if there aren't that many good ones. But it's like I would say that Double Dragon 2 NES is like directly below River City Ransom.
They're the two that I like on that system. So I mean, I guess
the Ninja Turtles, yeah, those are fine. 2 and 3.
I feel like when I went back to TMNT 2 later on in life, it was kind of hard to.
It's very basic and like very bare bones feeling.
It was the most exciting game in the world when I was playing it as a kid. But.
Right. There are a lot of dudes here. I think that's game over for me. I think. Yeah, that's the end of that.
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over.
Game over. Game over.
Sound the Bill arm.
I got a button here, but I don't know if it probably doesn't work that way anymore.
So happy birthday, Joe! Did you out yourself for how old you are on stream?
No, not yet. Not yet, but I can. Do you know how old I am, Mike?
Only vaguely. I was gonna say like
younger
maybe
than
like,
you, but
yeah, I would
older than coffee.
You might have said it the other week. Did you turning 36 today?
Oh, thank you, Mike. I'm actually turning 37 today.
Ah, okay. There you go. So 3 years.
3 years younger. Yeah, that's right.
Enjoy
You
it
just
while it
turned
lasts,
40.
Joe.
That's right. Yeah.
I suddenly got way older feeling when I hit like 39. So look forward to that.
Oh, I'm stoked. Are there any other PC Engine games anybody wants to see, or I can take?
I don't know.
Snarkcast says I'd gladly take being 37 again. Being 45 sucks. Hey man, it's better than the alternative.
Being 73.
Being dead.
I felt like I was 75 for like the last 20 years. So.
Jesus Christ, dude! You felt 75 since you were 12. That's not good. Let's see here. He says
this is hardcore.
Oh yeah, the cutscenes in this, like, no expense was spared on this. I don't know, CD games I have I mean, I have some arcade card games that are like I have Sapphire, I have Fatal Fury Special, but I also have an EverDrive with all the Hue card games on it. Or I can change systems. I got my Genesis, I got my Saturn, I got my Dreamcast hooked up here. I got my Neo Geo.
I can go for some Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Oh, I can do that. Sure, let's do that. Let's switch it up. Excuse me, Ewok.
It's like it's my birthday all of a sudden.
Happy birthday, Mike.
It's just, man, I get, there's like a choice paralysis thing that happens.
That's why you got to come in with a plan, man. You got to say, I'm streaming this thing right here.
Streaming this thing right here. None of you are going to stop me.
No joke, though. I've been playing a lot of that Hydro Thunder Hurricane, and that game holds up.
Oh, yeah?
What?
It's on...
Oh, is that the one that came out on Xbox 360 like 10 years ago?
Yep. It's on Game Pass.
Really?
Sick.
Yeah, I loaded it up and showed it to my kid, and he took a real shine to it, and so I probably sunk 8 hours into it in the last week or so.
Yeah.
We had a sick day yesterday that helped.
I didn't play it when it came out. I just played the demo, but it seemed all right.
When
I liked it back then.
DC, I got this copy of Street Fighter Alpha 2 for the Saturn, this US copy. I got it brand new for like $45.
Nice. I got mine used, but it was a lot less than that.
Well,
Game Pass is good. That's my official statement on the
Game
matter.
Pass is good, and so is Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
I feel pretty good about signing up for 3 years for like $120 or whatever.
Yeah, I was able to get some kind of promotion to get 3 more months for $1, so I'm good until like March or so.
I mean, even if just like a game comes out that you want to play, like signing up for like $10 or whatever is not a bad deal.
Right now, Game Pass PC is like $5 or $6 a month, depending on which country you're in. So that's what I did for Outer Worlds. Is I just paid $6 for a month of Game Pass, played that for 2 hours, and thought, okay, I'm good.
That was it. You didn't even get out of the planet.
I could see it stretching out before me, and I'm like, well, I'm not having fun now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was you that was saying that you were not enjoying that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but I don't like the Skyrim style of RPG, or I guess I don't like modern Fallout much either. But just there's something so artificial about the way you interact with everyone that really rubs me the wrong way, especially after having played stuff like the good Mass Effect games and The Witcher 3, where I can watch a conversation unfold and be interested in it instead of feeling like I'm at a Chuck E. Cheese with like a really chatty bear in front of me or something. And it's not like the gunplay was any great shakes, so
yeah, that's not...
I don't know. Also, I've heard that game starts strong and gets worse as it goes on, so I'm like, well, if I'm not liking it now...
If you're not having fun at the beginning...
I mean, you were just in for a couple bucks anyway, so...
Oh, no, I wouldn't even consider that a loss, because instead I downloaded like 4 other games.
Hydro Thunder.
Like Hydro Thunder Hurricane, looking great in 2019, playing at, I don't know what resolution, but, way higher than the Xbox 360, 60 frames a second. The only thing that sucks is that it doesn't take up the entire full screen, so I can still see my taskbar at the bottom for some reason.
You can't run it in full screen.
Oh man,
I don't know. It doesn't have a lot.
There's
of
something
options.
annoying about that I think would not sit right with me. But
and the resolution options are a slider, but with no numbers attached. So I just
that's awful.
Really good. That's really
just
good.
slid it all the way to the right. Looks pretty good.
Snarkcast says that Demon's Tilt on Game Pass is a very good spiritual successor to Devil's Crush.
I saw that was on there.
And he also says he doesn't know if it's still up, but over the weekend there was a Game Pass Ultimate for 5 cents a day deal.
That's not as good as the deal I got, which was 1 cent a day.
Yeah. Well, I thought you said it was $1 a month. It was
$1 for 3 months.
Oh yeah, that's about 1 cent a day.
But that was after paying $6 for 1 month, so I've got like 4 months for $7. So whatever you want.
Anthony that Farm Simulator 17 is on Game Pass.
I think he knows.
He probably gets email updates about Farm Simulator.
But I tried a bunch of other stuff. Like I tried some Yoku's Island Express, which is very, very charming, if a little annoying at times. But man, just very lovable. And I tried some Battle Chef Brigade. Not enough to really get hooked on it, though.
I like that game quite a bit, but it's like 80% of the way there, and then there's like something missing that I could never quite put my finger on. But
It looks really rough.
yeah, it looks kind of rough. The writing's a little rough in some spots, but I still like the loop of it. I really enjoyed like going out and collecting ingredients and then playing the weird sliding block puzzle thing.
Mechanically, it's almost kind of like Odin Sphere, like the sort of 2D brawler
Yeah.
combat combined with cooking.
Yeah, I remember getting that kind of vibe off of it when Eric was playing it.
Oh man, they buffed my hammer pickup distance, and it's so nice.
Please,
Stop
Hammer,
dropping your
don't
hammer.
hurt him.
Well, no, I have to. That's how I use. So they added. I don't know. I can't remember how long ago it was now. I'll figure this out. When they added one of the new subclasses, it's like the melee, instead of it being a hit, it's this weird little hammer that you can throw, and it looks really beefy and stupid, but does a ton of damage. It's one of the few. It's one of the few melees that has like a lot of range. It's the only one for Titans. And when you throw it, if you pick it back up, it immediately procs your health regen.
Okay.
And then you also can throw it again immediately instead of having to wait for the power to recharge. So there's like times where I'm just like throwing my dumb hammer and picking it up constantly. And they buffed the pickup range, so it's easier to get back faster.
The health regen and stuff.
Yeah. They buffed. I love this subclass. It's always been like the one everybody says is the worst, and now they buffed a whole bunch of stuff about it. So I'm kind of excited for it. Although I'm excited that it's good, but I'm also kind of sad because it means that I won't be the only person using it now.
You're no longer a special,
Yeah.
beautiful snowflake.
Yeah, I'm no longer a special, beautiful, shiny Titan. Well, I'm still shiny though.
You have triple punch and triple kick mapped to the shoulder buttons.
I do.
That was how I always did the ultimates in this. God, I think this is my favorite Street Fighter game.
Really?
Stuff like that.
I like this one quite a bit. I think I like... I mean, 2 Turbo is like, that's got its place in my heart.
Oh yeah, that's like the other best one.
I liked Alpha... I played a lot of Alpha 3 on the PS1 when it was new. With
Alpha
some
3 never
friends of
sat
mine.
right with me.
I loved Alpha 3, but actually, I don't know if it's a Street Fighter game per se, but my favorite 2D fighting game of all time, I think, is Capcom vs. SNK 2.
Yeah, that's one I haven't gotten a chance to sink a lot of time into.
Yeah, I've had Neo Geo Battle Coliseum on the PS2 for like years, and I've still never played it, but I hear that's a pretty good one. I know that Giant Bomb found scientifically that it was one of the finer fighting games of all time, so...
Great, that's some real stiff competition on that front. So
Yeah, I mean,
They only reviewed the best fighting.
only the
they're
best.
up against what? Time Killers.
Oh, it's
Did they
science.
do one of the
The
Fatal Fury
science
games?
tells us that it is much better than Time Killers, and much better than Dungeons and Dragons, Warriors of Ravenloft, Iron and Blood, and
You
much.
watch a bunch of those when you were subscribed.
No, I watch them all on when they come to YouTube. I just watch them.
Okay.
There.
I didn't realize that all of those came to YouTube.
All of the fighters, all of those do.
Is it?
Yeah, that show's not premium. I mean, it might be on premium for a couple days, but it comes to YouTube like within a day or two. I want to say they're all on YouTube. That's the thing that I most religiously watch on Giant Bomb. Actually, is
I did not know that.
ranking of fighters. It's really good background noise, like when I'm at work and stuff. Like I put it on my phone or on my second monitor while I'm working.
Oh,
Because
right.
like you don't have to pay super close attention to it to like
No.
get what's going on. So
Well, that's the beauty of almost any video game stream. Hi, if you're washing your dishes right now.
yeah, right. Yes, hello if you're like up late working on that report or whatever. I was actually we took the dogs for a walk to the Circle K so Megan could get smokes tonight, and so the dogs could go for a walk. And I got flashbacks because we walk right through the Belmont campus, and it's like all the kids are like classes must have ended today, like exams must have been the last day must have been today because there was a whole bunch of kids with their suitcases like packing up and getting out for the winter break, which it feels early, at least for me. Like I remember at UWM we had classes like usually right up until like the 20th or the 21st. We had, or not classes but exams. Like,
Yeah.
The last day of exams was as late as like the 21st some years, I feel like.
The people who have fewer exams and more papers to hand in, they might just be able to do them from home.
That's true. Which wouldn't have really affected me because I lived at home in college, so it didn't really matter that much. You know, it's like I was remembering everybody I knew who didn't live at home, like kind of packing up and like, oh, I'm going back to Illinois for the week or for the month or two or whatever. But like for me, it was just like, oh, I'm just driving home after classes because that's, you know.
Oh man, Adon's always where your luck starts to turn around.
Yeah, Adon. Oh, he's gonna
guy.
eat that Shoyu Repa 3rd level though.
Harvey Birdman, that was pretty good. How you liking that Saturn pad?
You know, it still hasn't given me any trouble. The only thing, actually, it's given me one tiny spot of trouble, which is not its fault necessarily. The Saturn, oh you bastard. The Saturn adapter I got for my Super Gun doesn't like the new Saturn pads from.
Oh,
from
this is
Retrobit.
a reissue.
Yeah,
Like
this
one
is
of the ones they
this
made
is one of the
last year,
Retrobit. Yeah, last year, 10-foot cord, which is super nice. So I really like it for playing actual Saturn games, but if I plug it into my Super Gun, it doesn't recognize it. But apparently, the dude who did the design,
He's working
his
on
name
it.
escapes me now, Frank, I think. Yeah, he's already got it sorted out. So I told Matt at QC Retro, I said, you know, if you get some that you know work with the 8BitDo controller or the 8BitDo, the Retrobit controllers, let me know and I'll buy another one off you. Because I have an old school Saturn pad that I use my current one with, but it would be nice to have the longer cord to go with the Super Gun.
Yeah, I love my Saturn pad for this game. It just feels perfect.
I argue for 2D games, the Saturn pad is where it's at. I think for 2D gaming, it's the best controller.
Oh, the alpha counter.
He did. He has a couple of times. He's busting out the alpha counters. Yeah.
I don't know if I know where my Saturn is. It's probably my parents' house.
You should
The only
find
video
it.
game console that I couldn't locate right now.
It's so good, Mike. It's so good.
I don't have the,
Sega
was it
Saturn
the RAM
rules.
expansion to play. Like, I don't have the memory card, I don't have the RAM expansion, so
Well-
kind of limited in what I can play on it.
Yeah, but
And
I mean,
also,
you could
the
get
disk
it.
drive is
Oh,
dying.
see, that's different. I was gonna say you can get the Action Replay Plus, which is a memory card and a 4 meg RAM card and a region unlocker all in one, and they're like $25. But if the disk drive is
didn't
going,
think-
I'd wait till I'd wait until the Satiator or somebody's making another thing that's similar, another optical drive emulator. Once that's out, then that'll be.
I don't know if I'll ever be motivated enough. I mean, I guess if I had an optical drive emulator, I'd have all the games, so...
I would say you'd have the whole library, so it's so good, Mike. It's so good.
It's
So-
good for fighting games.
Oh man, it's got some stuff besides fighting games. Deep Fear, Burning Rangers,
Really weird version of Symphony of the Night.
a really weird version of Symphony of the Night. Really, Adon.
He worked you, man.
He really did.
Yeah, that guy blows.
Yeah, he's an asshole. So Mike, tell me about your journey to the DE10 Nano / Mystery
My
Project.
journey to Mr. Hood.
Yeah. How's
Yeah, man, I listened to those 2 interviews back to back on Retronauts, Artemio and Smoke Monster. And I was like, God damn, this stuff sounds so cool. Like, I got to get in on this, and especially the idea that like I kind of didn't realize that what's the word I'm looking for? Like the boards are sold at a discount to get kind of people interested in FPGA programming. So it's not
It's a
impossible that they will.
student. Yeah, it's a college thing. It's like a textbook, basically.
I forget what the word is in English, but I know it is in French. Anyways, and so it's not
Subsidized, I think, is the word.
subsidized. Yes, thank you. It's not impossible that they'll get a lot more expensive at some point, and then just like, fuck it, man. I like my Super NT so much that the thought of having that for every old console is just like, come on. And there's so
Right.
much development happening right now that like, just I'm really interested in the kind of ongoing community
Yeah.
aspect of it, and
I
the
mean-
fact that there's like new stuff every week, and
People like Joe Tago have been doing really cool stuff with it, and like he's currently been doing like the pre-CPS 1 Capcom arcade games,
You mean like Willow, or is that to?
I think
that's
Willow was
CPS1?
CPS1. I think Willow is.
Yeah, I guess you're
CPS1.
probably right. So like the 1942 and 3 Commando and stuff like that.
Yeah, so he's done, I think, Commando. You'd have to like look it up, but I know he's done Ghosts and Goblins. He's done 1942 and 43. He's done, I think, Black Tiger is the one that's like sort of in beta right now, or maybe available as patrons. If you, because he always gives them to his Patreon backers first for like a couple weeks before he releases them publicly. But he's been doing a lot of that stuff. But I believe he's he or somebody else has been working on an actual CPS1 core, which would then run all the CPS1 games. There's been rumors about CPS2 for a little while now.
This is CPS2, right? This game?
This game is CPS2. There is technically a CPS1 version of Street Fighter Alpha.
The first one?
The first one, because it was available on the CPS Changer, which was the Japanese-only, like, Capcom sort of answer to the Neo Geo, kind of, but not really. Which is apparently the only reason that the CPS1 version of Alpha exists, was so it could be released on that. And it's not clear if it ever actually was released in arcades at all as a board, or if it was only released in arcades as CPS2. And the only difference is the soundtrack anyways, so...
Yeah, well, so I've learned a lot about the Mister, but I definitely have a couple questions, like especially about all the different add-ons and expansions that you can get.
Yeah, I can answer some of that stuff.
Well, so what do you have so far?
So I just have the thing about one of the big things, right, that a lot of people will say is like, oh, get the I/O board, and I'm like,
For analog output, right?
It's for analog output, and I didn't get the I/O board because I don't currently have a tube TV. Oh, sorry, I do, but it's broken. But so I don't have that need for it, and I don't. If you use it with so when I first got my Mister, the HDMI output on it was, I think, like 3 frames of lag or something like that. So there was an argument of like, if you have a FrameMeister, definitely if you have OSSC, the analog output is going to be less lag. If you have a tube television, right? Which I don't. So, but then an update not that long after, the main Mister firmware, now the HDMI is sub 1 frame of lag.
Dang.
So getting the I/O board and plugging it into my FrameMeister, which is I believe 2 frames of lag, would add more lag than just going
Downgrade.
straight out from the HDMI port. So I'm like, I don't need the I/O board. Some people swear by it. I don't need it for my purposes.
I have a CRT, but I don't use it very much. It's down in the basement, so I don't feel like I really need to get the Mister. The whole point of the Mister for me is that it works on HD TVs.
Right. Yeah. So, I have the original RAM expansion. So the bigger RAM expansion was not a thing when I bought my 32 meg RAM expansion. The 128 meg or whatever it is RAM expansion.
No one was making those.
Didn't exist. So that one you only need for a handful of GBA games and a handful of Neo Geo games. Everything.
Yeah, although
else
to be fair,
runs
it's a lot of the
without-
good Neo Geo games.
Yeah, sure, but I also have a Neo Geo, so with a Darksoft Neo Geo multi MVS cart. So for me, that's not a thing.
Right.
But obviously, you probably want that, especially if you want to be able to play every single Neo Geo game. I'm honestly not even sure which ones don't work with the 32.
Well, I know that you need 64 or 128 for a lot of the King of Fighters games, the Last Blade games, a lot of the Metal Slug games. Like, not the early ones, but, some of the later ones, 3, 5, and 6 or something like that. And
Sure.
so it's not 100% essential, but it's not that much more expensive to get the fancy RAM board.
Right. That's the other thing. It's not that expensive at this point, so you may as well just...
I think it's 30 or 60 for the 32 and the 128. But when you add shipping on top of that, it becomes kind of it's less than twice as much to get the one that does everything. And I'm kind of hoping that I'm hoping that long term they'll develop some cores for stuff like PS1 and who knows what else they can squeeze out of this thing. But if any of those wind up needing more RAM, then I'll be annoyed if I have to upgrade in the future. So I don't know. I might just jump right to 128.
Yeah. I mean, if I was doing it now,
Play some Garu.
Yeah. If I was doing it now, that's what I would do. Did I just continue and change characters and then change characters again and get sent back?
Every time you change characters, it reshuffles the people you have to fight, and then the ones you've already beaten are already kind of grayed out on the list. When you switch to what's his face, Guy, you'd already beat Sodom, and so he was grayed out.
Right. It actually probably should be Guy, by the way, because he's named after Guy Pizziotto from Fugazi.
Store?
Yes.
No,
from Fugazi. And Rites of Spring and a bunch of other bands on this.
I don't. That might just be a local name.
My father-in-law's name is Guy, so.
There's
Is
a
he in
hockey player
Fugazi?
named Guy.
Oh, hey.
There's one or two, Alex. There's one or two.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's a bunch.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more than that, but there's one particularly famous.
Guy Smiley.
The one.
Yes, you noted Muppet and hockey
Cheese 'em,
player.
cheese 'em.
I was trying, but I couldn't get it up.
Couldn't get it up.
Yeah, I couldn't get it up. Couldn't
You
get it.
can't get it up. That's a
So just
different
before I
outfit.
completely forget the question, do you have any other boards for your Mister right now, aside
Nope.
from the RAM add-on?
I have the RAM. I just have the DE10 and the RAM and the fan. You want the fan?
Yeah, is that important?
Oh, you gotta get the fan.
Yeah.
Duh.
Especially if you're gonna get the 128 board and run cores that need it, it can run hot. So.
Well, to start with, I'm going to have no RAM. So the question is, do I need the fan before the RAM, or can I get them at the same time?
I ran it without a fan until I got my RAM board and my 3D printed case. For the most part, I think, if I remember correctly, and it was fine, just using it in a well-vented area. Oh, and a heatsink. And actually, I might have a heatsink that you can have because I think I had a bunch of extras. Because when you buy a heatsink, they send you
a pack of 5 or
yeah,
something?
I think it was
They're
10
worth
actually.
20 cents each.
Yeah, right. Because I paid $5 and got 10 of them or something, so I can probably just send you a heatsink. Or if you can wait until January, I can give you one.
Depends on how much I need it, because I won't have the RAM for a little while, because the 128s are out of stock everywhere.
Right.
So if it takes me
That was
a
some
month,
bullshit.
if it takes me a month or two to get the RAM, I don't know. Can I live without the heatsink and fan for that long, or is that a bad idea?
If you're not going to be marathon play sessioning, you're probably fine.
I will not be marathon play sessioning.
I can give you the cord. I can give you the wires that hook up the fan. I think I still have a bunch of those because you only need 2, and that's the thing where
Cool.
you buy them and they ship you 20, because that's that's the deal. Yeah, I think I can give you a heatsink. I'm gonna double check that when we get done here, probably, to make sure I'm not lying to you and that I do still have all that stuff. But I'm almost.
If you are lying, it's captured on the air
Yeah, that's true.
for future generations.
But I think it was a situation where I just was like, I have all these things and I can, you can have them, or I can send it. I mean, putting the heatsink is this big and the wires are tiny. I could probably put them in a padded envelope and send them to Canada for $2. I know postage to Canada is expensive. But
No,
it wouldn't
if
be
it's
very
an
heavy.
envelope, if it looks like it could be a letter, you can get away for $1.50 or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
I mean, if you're willing to take that chance, man, your precious heatsink.
well, it's your precious heatsink, so you tell me if you're willing to take that chance. Of course, if something happens to it, then I can just give you one when you come here. So.
So I mean, sure, if you have a chance, that'd be cool.
Sure. Do you know? Are you do you have plans in terms of?
Happy birthday!
Hi, thank you.
Ah!
Do you know when you're gonna order
Hermit's
it? Or
here.
when it's gonna be ordered for you?
Or animals.
Right.
I imagine they will get the D10 at Christmas.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit on Quaalude
Yeah, right.
is here.
Yeah, man, I'm fucking tired.
So did you do all the Destiny stuff yet, Alex?
I've
Yeah,
been working
Alex.
on pretty much all.
I had a feeling, probably.
god. I mean, I took breaks and did other stuff, you know.
Started
Sure you did.
a couple times.
I did not eat anything until 2:30 when I was like, what time is it? I was like, oh.
What was the
Oh,
game
that
you were
happened.
saying that you were playing and that you didn't stop to eat? Didn't you post a message on Talking Time or something? You were like, I was playing this, and then like I didn't eat anything. And...
Oh, that was Soul Calibur and Raven.
Oh, Soul
Season 2.
Calibur Season 2. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you
Apparently
gotta
not
beat Aiden. Do it for me.
I'm working on it, Mike. I'm really trying.
Yeah. You want to be the guy, right?
Yes, I want to be the guy.
9:59. What do you feel about that, Eric?
What's that?
I got a thing that's 9:59.
Man, you've been playing a lot today.
I mean, I really haven't. I got like 3 powerfuls when I got up to 9:59.
Yeah, I haven't actually. I just did a little.
His
bit of-
throws just take precedence. You know,
it
it's such
crashed
bullshit.
Twice, I couldn't get it to run, so I stopped playing it.
God, I think the highest level piece of
Boy,
gear I
this-
got in that game was like
this-
120.
This add-on content is
Shit
rough.
has changed.
I see what you did there, Anthony.
I get it.
I'm really excited. I played just enough to get to try out the new melee pickup thing for the dumb Titan hammer, and I got really excited about that. So
Oh yeah.
it's really awesome.
They put Guile's flash kick in the game, and it's like a
That's
thing
not
you could
a-
only
We were
you can
talking
only
about that.
get with money. And I was like, I'm buying that. I guess I have
If I
to.
hadn't bought the drop kick, I would have bought it. So
But you can have multiple equip now, and when you do the finisher, it picks randomly.
random pool.
So you can do the. So I have the flash kick, the Shoryuken, and then the other Shoryuken, and not the drop kick because I didn't want to spend that much money. On it. But I could.
Shoryuken, huh?
I have the silver. I can just buy it.
There's
Maybe
a
I will buy it.
Shoryuken, and then there's one that the Warlock has, which is the main class I play, where they like pull out a sword made of fire, and then they basically do another Shoryuken. So it's like,
So that's like the Ken Shoryuken because it's fire.
yeah, sure, okay, yeah, let's do that.
If he does more than one, it's a show you repa. Jeez.
Yeah, right.
Listen to me, don't talk to me about Street Fighter, okay?
Well, we're talking to you about Street Fighter.
Hey, remember when Street Fighter was really good?
Really?
Well, here it is, Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Street Fighter 5.
Hey, you know what,
Alpha
Alex?
3.
One of us is playing Street Fighter right now, and the other one's playing Destiny. So apparently, I'm more dedicated to the fighting game community than you are.
That is objectively false.
I mean, I'm playing Street Fighter right
Everybody
now. and you're
knows
playing Destiny.
Anthony is the fight guy. Everybody is always saying that all the time.
That's true.
That's why they call him Benanthony.
When you won Evo the last 5 years in a row.
As,
Honestly, I think you should just give somebody
as far
else
as
a
I
chance.
remember it, yes. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you should retire so that way the other people.
I do. Okay. You know what? I won't go to Evo this next.
Okay, alright. That's
All right.
I just
Good,
came
good,
across
thanks.
the
Sit
video.
this one out.
I just came across today the video Andy Keener took of our fateful Evo match of Street Fighter 2 HD Remix. I don't know if anyone else remembers that, but there was some very good Blanca happening.
I vaguely remember.
Is very
that,
good in
yes.
quotes, or is it like actually very good?
I mean, I think it's very good.
The very isn't, but the good is.
It's very something. So, what you guys up to? New fellers?
Alex is playing Destiny
I'm
Kids
playing
on the call.
Destiny.
because that's the
Oh,
only thing
real
Alex ever
briefly, I
does.
will bore you guys with Destiny stuff, but Eric,
What? Alex,
Andy
hey,
will
what's
borrow
up?
Destiny stuff. Alright, got it.
just very briefly, you can farm bygones now. You can just go to Mars and get a quest where you can just get bygones.
Get
Like,
your
that's
ass
good,
to
Just
Mars.
also let those just be those.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, that's what I was just gonna
But
say.
you can get a better one, Eric. And also, no, I will never let it just be one.
I've got one that's like Rampage Outlaws. Or
I knew that.
Another one now.
Absolutely. Kill Clip and Outlaw, which I already have, but it's not perfect. But I can get a perfect one.
Do you? Are you? I mean, what? Whatever. I don't know.
My favorite gun. Of course I want a better one. Alright, that's it. You continue talking
If I
about
return
whatever
here,
else.
but this is where I live. You came to my house.
So I bought something on the Steam sale that I just realized I haven't talked
Where's
about.
that on
at
Mars?
all.
On the? Is that a protocol escalation thing?
Oh yeah, what'd you buy?
No, there's these things called obelisks, and you have to like use the seasonal currency to activate it and level it up. And level.
Gobble this
I
obelisk.
gotta play through the. I gotta play through the.
Um,
story stuff for you.
Yeah, you do.
But Anthony, in answer to your question, I got One Finger Death Punch 2
Oh.
which is
Finger Death Punch 1.
it's so
They really-
addictive.
They really didn't call it 2-finger death punch. Like
No,
I don't
they
know,
didn't.
man.
They did not.
I feel like that's
I
a
have
missed
one
opportunity.
finger death punch. That game's fun.
I have
It's
one finger.
super fun. I like that game a lot. That game is addictive in a way that not that many games are, and the second one adds some stuff that makes it. Like I got it. I wasn't gonna pay like the full $8 asking price or whatever because I was like, how different can this be from like One Finger Death Punch, right? But so I waited
the
until
second finger, Joe.
well, there always kind of was two fingers because right click punches to the right and left click punches to the left. But
Do you have to use different fingers in this one?
no, you don't.
Just
I
need the
mean-
middle one, baby.
Yeah,
Did you get the Toe DLC?
no, not yet.
That shit's broken. It's unbalanced. Fucking. They need to nerf the. I hope you heard me type furious.
Yes, we heard you. That was all we heard actually.
Okay, good.
So yeah, it's more One Finger Death Punch with even less story than the like the original had like a map with some vague, perfunctory almost narrative, and like this one doesn't even have that. Like it's literally just like a line of stages, and they just add more like different kinds of dudes and different like ways that you can kill them, and more elaborate like final blow death animations, like when you finish a stage. Like there's like Mortal Kombat style X-ray like for the stick figures, but it's like I don't know, if you like the first one, it's more of that, and the 10 or so stages I've played of it so far I had a lot of fun with. But it's one of those games where you start playing and you're just kind of like, I'll just play one more stage. Like, that doesn't take very long. And then, like, you look at the clock and you're like, I've been playing this game for an hour and a half. Like, what the fuck happened?
I forgot Captain Commando was at Ken's birthday party.
Strider, too, kind of. And Morgan.
Everyone is here.
Everyone is at Ken's birthday party on this cruise ship. Or it's not Ken's birthday, it's Eliza's birthday.
Oh, right.
Ken's having a fight. Ken's getting in fist fights at his wife's birthday.
Yeah, he's Ken.
Fair enough. Although, actually, I guess she's just his girlfriend at this point, because Alpha takes place before Street Fighter 2, and they get engaged at the end of Street Fighter 2. Why do I know this?
I think you're because you had a
fighting
copy
game
back-
lore is the best.
If by the best
Like-
you mean the dumbest.
Yeah, well, so like literally earlier today, I went to the grocery store, and on the way back, for whatever reason, I was thinking about like Iori, and then like how Ash stole his powers in KOF 12, and I was like, why am I thinking about this? Like, and why do I know this? Like,
Yeah. I mean, Iori
the
is
answer
the
is
best.
says fucking yeah, Iori's tight, and King of Fighters is also very tight. That's
True.
why.
Very true. I'm going back to this Adon well with Ken. I want to beat Adon before I change games or log off. And I don't even care about beating the game. I just care about beating Adon at this point.
Take him down, Joe. I believe in you.
Alright, cool.
Hey, Anthony, weren't you a Wario fan on the old Game Boy?
Yeah.
What about on the new Game Boy? Are you still a Wario fan?
Oh, is this new Wario stuff happening? I don't know.
Well, isn't the latest part of Shovel Knight out, and isn't it basically like a Wario Land kind of thing?
Is it? It's out. It's out today.
Yeah.
I need
Treasure
I think
King
calling
Knight.
it, I think calling it Wario Land is a little weird because he has a shoulder charge and all the mechanics revolve around that. So like, yeah, but like that doesn't make it Wario Land. That I don't know.
Because that's like Wario's
Ooh,
thing.
okay. Well, maybe I'm overselling it.
Can't
Sorry.
really die. Yeah. Don't get me excited.
I have no idea. I haven't really played a lot of Wario Land. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that alone makes it. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if is he like invincible in the same way that Wario? Because that's like the thing with Wario, right? Is like he can't be
That's what I just
killed. Right? Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah,
the
Joe's
answer
brain
to
is
that.
occupied right now.
Right,
He's
I'm
gotta
trying to
burn
beat
Man.
Adon. God damn it!
Yeah, but is he invincible? Because that's like the thing.
Just
that-
switch to Sagat and throw fireballs. You'll win.
But I'm not fighting. I'm not at Sagat or I'm not at Adon with Sagat.
if
That's
you
the
can't even
problem.
take down Adon,
Well,
you'll never
that was
take
your
down
mistake.
Adon, so-
I can take down 2 Don Flamencos.
At once? Huh?
No,
Punch
no.
a rum hack.
Not a... Yeah, right.
Oh. I really thought you had him that
I
time,
really-
Joe.
So did I.
Are you? Which guy are you?
I'm trying to
you
take
guys-
down Adon, so if I'm... Like, you know who some of these characters are. I feel like you have to at least know who the
Yeah,
guy in
that's
the
the
red
Smash
gi
Bros
is.
guy.
Yes, Joe is the Smash Bros guy. He's
Terry
fighting Bert.
Bogard.
Yeah. Right. Pikachu.
Did I tell you guys that like a few days after Terry Bogard came out, I heard some like 13 or 14-year-old kids at the grocery store complaining about how he was OP.
I heard he
it
made a lot of
really
people
happy.
mad in Smash Bros.
God damn
land.
it. Yes, I do remember you saying something about that.
Okay, good, because it still cracks me up. It makes me really happy.
Did you tell him he should try busting a wolf?
No, I didn't tell him anything.
Did you ask him if
Wow.
he was okay?
I did not ask if they were okay.
That's a bad boss
Does-
fight to not have your dash dodge.
Does he still have the, like, bad Englishy voice samples in Smash? I have to assume yes.
It's not as bad. It's like his newer voice, which is not as bad.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's still pretty bad.
But it's not like, are you okay? Buster Wolf! It's not that.
Honestly, that's better than it is in the old game.
I don't know. It's pretty... When he wins, does he say, wubba wubba, I'm in the pink today, boy?
No.
Bullshit.
I don't know why.
Bullshit.
Something about censorship. Yeah. Fucking the man like won't let him say in the pink.
Goddamn SJWs won't let him say wubba wubba.
Say wubba wubba exactly.
Free Terry. Hashtag free wubba wubba.
I mean, who cares what anyone's victory poses? They gave Richter the best one that anyone could ever have, and it's all downhill from there.
What is? I don't even. Isn't it? He just given like a peace sign?
Yeah, it's the over-the-shoulder anime peace sign that he gives in the cutscene in Rondo of Blood.
That seems appropriate. Also, fuck you, Adon.
It ain't over till it's over, Joe. Keep your eye on the prize.
Oh, it is. Yeah! Eat it, motherfucker!
Yay! Now you can get older. Good job.
Happy birthday.
I did it. All right, now I'm gonna keep playing until I lose, and then I'm gonna switch games again. But I
Are you
haven't-
playing on like an emulator or on the like HD collection?
Sega Saturn.
Oh, okay.
Real deal, man.
Because it's the best like fighting game controller ever, man. 2D. I should qualify that. I wouldn't want to play Soul Calibur with.
I mean, it would
Saturn,
probably
I don't
be
think.
fine, right?
It'd probably be fine.
Yeah, it would be fine. Yeah.
Soul Calibur is not the most directionally sensitive fighting game.
I guess.
We all know
Kinda is, actually.
Soul Calibur is a Dreamcast.
Oh god.
God, I think the only controller I've ever used that makes my skin sore.
The Dreamcast controller. I kickstarted a better Dreamcast controller, and I'm very excited because I'm supposed to be getting it in January, and I am fucking stoked.
I just got the worst gun that like exists.
Oh, it's a Dreamcast controller.
Is
They
it a
put that in
clob?
Destiny?
They put the they
No, it's worse.
Worse than a clob or worse than a Dreamcast controller?
Alright, so here's what this gun does in this game, right? So it has two perks, which are special things
Shoots
that
bubbles.
you can do, right? Right. And so one of them is when you jump, get ready for this. This is the worst one of these things in the game. When you jump, you can put it away faster than you can normally.
You can also get it out faster when you jump.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
just-
but
We're
that's...
talking about a gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a manner of speaking.
Yeah, exactly. It's, Never mind.
gun.
There you go, that's good. And then the other
Don't
one is...
quote Kiss on my
running
birthday
and
stream, you son of a
sliding.
bitch.
It gives you a few bullets back in your mag. So I can slide and partially reload and then jump and put it away. That's what it does.
That sounds like
You
fucking
jump,
trash.
you jump.
Dude.
This is
It is.
ideally you would jump and take it out real fast,
Yeah.
and then land and slide to reload the clip.
Why would you jump at somebody with a pulse rifle? Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Why would you jump and put your gun away? Like, period, is the
You can do
question.
it fast. You wanna switch
Yeah, you
to
can
your
do it
other
really
gun.
quickly.
It's better
To
when
show off. Look how fast I can switch my gun out.
Are you jealous?
Is it, Alex? Is it also like masterwork handling, just so you can do it like extra fast?
I think it's reload. It's reload.
Great.
Yeah.
So,
this is really awful.
Again, just so I'm like totally clear here, you can't take it out super fast. You can only put it away.
you
fast.
You can take it out super fast, but it's not a gun that you would
Funnier
want
if you
to.
frame it as putting it away super fast.
Yeah, there's that, and it's also like there's no reason you would ever jump at someone and pull this gun out. It's like it's not a sniper rifle, but it's like a long range weapon. So there's no reason.
Intimidation tactic.
Look at me, man. I'm stupid as hell. You scared?
This is how dumb I am. Dumb people can be dangerous, Alex.
Right, exactly. It's like look at how random I am. You can't predict me.
Exactly.
Oh, also, Eric, I got some year 1 guns with like random rolls. So like some of them are.
Dave Lock, is it back?
I haven't seen Skatebug yet, but if I see one, I will let you know immediately. I did see Uriel's Gift and Last Hope though, so
Okay. I mean, they're probably bad though, right?
the Uriel's Gift I got is like one of the worst things I've ever seen, like complete garbage. But
Cool.
but
I mean, that
That
gun
was just the
wasn't
one.
that gun wasn't that good in season 1, so
dude, Uriel's Gift was fucking insanely good in year 1. What are you talking
Dave
about?
Lock or nothing.
Tap the trigger, hella range, forget about it. That gun was insane.
Nah.
So I think it's telling how fucking busted Adon is in this game that I was stuck on him for however long, and then the guys further into the game than him, Birdie and Rolento, I beat without having to continue.
Adon fucking sucks, man. Ryu also kind of sucks, so good luck with this one.
Yeah. Well, also he's the final boss for Ken in this game, so he's like. I should have played the Super Nintendo version of this. That's what I should have done.
I like how Ryu's trying to be all brooding and dark, and then Ken's like, yeah, show and tell. I brought my pet turtle.
I mean, the idea that that Ryu's being serious and Ken is being a smartass is sort of how they're characterized throughout the series,
All
right?
the time.
It's kind of a wonder that they're even friends. Like,
Gee, especially after that.
yeah, right.
Super Duker. That's weird. He alpha countered you and then you kept going?
I don't think that was a full alpha. He doesn't have a level, so you have to have a level to do a proper alpha counter. So I don't think that actually counted. Yeah, I'll cheese the fuck out of you, Ryu. I don't give a shit. Yeah, give me that super cheese. Mmm, super cheese.
Delicious.
Well, you are from Wisconsin.
It's true.
Hey.
Super
That's
cheese
another
is all
thing.
right, but I prefer sharp cheddar.
Syrup cheddar is the super cheese.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's like cheese that hurts to eat. And I didn't mean that as a like pun on sharp. I just mean that the taste is so like.
No,
ah.
I got
But
you.
then I guess I did that.
Yeah, you did.
so,
You did
hey.
that. You did that.
That's what it says on the packaging. The cheese that hurts to eat.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good food that hurts to eat, actually.
Hot sauce. Nice.
Glass.
Jalapeno chips.
Did you just say glass? Thumbtacks.
No. That. Something must be wrong with Anthony because I feel like he would be getting in on this.
He said something and then started laughing, so.
I said spikes.
Spikes, yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right, okay. I was worried for a second there.
Oh, don't worry, I'm here. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, you're welcome.
Game over. Try again.
Game over, yeah.
Game
All right,
over.
switch to Sagat and win.
No, I'm switching games now.
Oh, Sagat is OP in this game, is he?
I just
mean-
like playing Sagat.
His Tiger Uppercut hits for like a million hits, but he's
So
not.
got him.
Hey.
Wow.
Anthony, you know what game it turns out is actually still super really good?
What's that?
Super Mario Galaxy.
That game is good. I want,
Da,
I want an
na,
HD
na,
version of that game
na,
so bad.
I'm starting to want one too because I just got this new TV and the one thing it doesn't have is component video inputs.
Yep, I'm in the same spot.
So did you buy the adapter for your Wii?
No, I just didn't play my Wii.
You can get like a $10 adapter that converts it to HDMI, but it doesn't look as good,
Hmm.
which is kind of crap. I mean, it's not that big of a deal when you're actually playing the game and things are moving around. You can't tell that much, but it's definitely a step down in sharpness.
Yeah, but they've
Nothing
done
like that
other
cheddar.
HD re-releases like.
Oh no,
and
absolutely.
stuff,
They need to port these games to the Switch, and the thing is, they could actually even do like pointer stuff with the Joy-Con, so they wouldn't even have to figure out how to deal with that. They could just,
Yeah,
I think what they need to do before they do that is put a 3D World on.
Yes.
I mean, I want that too.
that's true. That game's
I want,
tight.
yeah. It's not better than Galaxy though, right?
Mm,
I think it is.
No, it's
it
not.
depends on what you want to do.
I think it's probably. I think I would
You got
assume that would
buds
come
over
first because Nintendo seems to like porting all them Wii U games
I
to.
think it's a lot
I
easier.
think there is an argument to be made.
Yeah.
Also,
think
I would
that's
really
what-
like to see it as a Galaxy collection that was reasonably
Yeah.
priced, but you already know it's going to be each one for like $60 a piece.
You
Because
sure
that's what
do.
Nintendo does so.
Was Wind Waker HD $60?
Maybe not.
I think it was.
Probably, yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I agree that it would be great. Like if they put the two of them in one full price game, I would buy that for sure. If they're individual, then I might. They do eventually go on sale. Nintendo games, like they've been discounting their first party stuff by about a third off every once in a while. I got Mario Kart on sale, and I know like Breath of the Wild was discounted this Christmas. I mean, last week or whatever.
Oh, are the NES controllers for Switch still on sale? I emailed everybody to mention that, and then I didn't buy them, and I just realized.
I don't know because I don't think I'm going to buy them.
$30 for a pair is like that feels pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, but they're only useful when you're playing with the console plugged into your TV, and I've got other ways to play the Nintendo that I'd rather use.
That is true. That's fair.
If the Super Nintendo one went on sale, I might crack just because I love the Super Nintendo controller so much, but
Don't you already have a Super Nintendo controller?
not for the Switch.
You got the 8-bit 2 one with your thing though.
Yeah, well, okay.
You can pair it.
Yes, I do have that one. But this is an official one.
Right. Right.
Oh, I didn't buy it yet.
I don't want any of that crap.
Fair enough.
Took you down a peg.
Oh shit! I just realized something. I bought like a 6-button Genesis controller for my PC, and then because I really like that controller, and it was like on sale for like $10 or $15 or something. So like yeah, and then now Shovel Knight came out today. I'm like, oh shit, dude! I just realized I just put two things together.
I have one
What are they?
controller and I use it for everything.
I'm gonna play Shovel Knight,
Aha.
and then 1 + 1 = 2. Those are two things that I was just thinking.
Things Alex thinks.
Math.
.blogspot.com.
It's all just me complaining about Destiny, and then like every once in a while, like I bought a controller. Did you use it? No.
I hear you, man. I hoard controllers like I'm afraid the government's going to take them away.
They will if you're not
I'm
careful.
gonna say they're gonna. It's coming.
I'm in my underground bunker with my new in-box Dreamcast controller.
So I think I'm gonna end this evening with some Neo Geo. That's what we're doing.
But what on Neo Geo?
That's a good question. I didn't really
Bang,
get that
bang,
far.
buzz.
Blazing Star.
The King of
bread.
Fighters.
No,
Chibi Morocco-chan Quiz Deluxe.
I'm not playing a quiz game that's in
Play
Japanese.
Diggerman prototype. I need to know what Diggerman
Fight
is.
Fever?
Fight Fever is, I feel like, not very good.
8-man.
Yeah, that's a
Cyber
Vicom.
Lip.
What's Diggerman,
Yikes.
Joe?
Let's find out what the proto. Okay, hang on. So
Please.
Diggerman will assign to slot 1,
Yay.
and then what? 8-man. We'll put 8-man in slot 2.
Is this the hardware that you spent so long trying to get working like a month or two ago?
Well, it's the one I had to replace the board because it was not good. So, but yes, it is all working now. And then someone said Cyberlip, so put Cyberlip in slot 3.
I'm your digger, man.
And let's see here. We will
I really want to know
do.
what this is.
I'm gonna say Diggerman ends where the guy gets put in a giant human-shaped thing made out of shovels, and then they burn him alive.
Uh-huh. Right, Christopher
He gets
Lee
worms in his
has
eyes.
built a
Yeah, exactly.
Devastator, and
Like in Transformers?
yes.
Yep.
I don't know. I have no idea what Diggerman
You said
is.
Devastator, dude.
Yeah.
Shit.
I did. This doesn't look good. I'll be honest.
Looks alright. Some gems.
Is this just bootleg Dig Dug or what?
Does it do anything for you that
No.
I'm playing a match with this guy named the Noodle Lord? Does that help at all?
Alex.
That does help quite a bit,
Alex.
actually.
Yes.
I played
Yeah.
with Hey Google Anime Thighs earlier.
Good.
Yeah.
That's still not the best we've seen, but
It
you
was
know.
it's pretty fucking good though.
This
Yeah.
is not good.
What? You don't even know what's happening yet. You haven't even played any of it. How dare
I
you?
definitely have played it. I am playing it now, and it's like a bad wisdom tree game. It's like Crystal Mines.
Hold on, I'm not learning anything about the Bible.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
It was
I mean,
bugs.
it's kind of like
Also, I don't think that's a man.
that's true. It's not.
How dare you, Mike?
I don't like this.
It's
Next,
fine. Come on, you didn't even finish the stage yet.
it's true. I didn't.
This looks kind of like the crappy PC shareware games we used to play in Computer Lab
Yeah, right.
because it beat doing our homework.
In middle school, we played this tank game called Bolo. I don't know if you guys ever played that?
Is
Played a
it
lot of
also
Scorched Earth.
Yeah, I
somebody
played a lot
was
of
it about
Scorched
a
Earth.
guy that was in a bunch of martial arts movies in the 70s and 80s?
Did he have a funny
Yeah,
looking
it
tie?
Yeah,
That's the final dude in Bloodsport, right?
Bloodsport. Yeah, that's
Yes.
the guy that he was just talking about.
All right, Joe, I gotta go to bed. Give me some cyber lip before I leave.
all right. I'm trying, but it's not. I don't know
Baby,
if
give me
this
some cyber lip.
this controller adapter is not cooperating with me. Give me a second.
Do you like to cyber lip?
Only lip, yeah. I guess I could have just booted to.
So this is real Neo Geo arcade hardware running a flash card. Is that it?
That's correct. So, yeah, this is the Darksoft Multi MVS, which is. Excuse me.
Whoa.
As. As the Um, okay.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So this
seems
is
kinda
meant to
complicated.
be. Sorry, I'm trying to get the games all assigned correctly. This is meant to go in an actual MVS, so it you can as you can see, I can program 3 slots, and so I don't think the AES one can do that. There's an AES version of this cartridge as well, which I don't think is able to do that. But it's really convenient because if there's a game that you play all the time or a game that you know you want to keep coming back to, you can keep it in one of the slots, and then you don't have to, like, when you boot it, it will just tell you, like I fucked it up because I've just trained myself at this point to go into the menu. But when it boots up, it gives you like ABC is assigned to slot 1, 2, 3, so you can just choose one of the games that's preloaded because it saves them in flash memory. So
And I really miss games telling me not to do drugs.
I know, right? This does not
If I tell
look
you not to
right.
do drugs, does that do anything for
Something.
you?
I don't know. It's pretty
Makes
Pretty
me
minimalist.
suspicious you're trying to. keep
Yeah,
them all
this
to
is
yourself.
real minimalist. I'm wondering. Some games have issues if you run them in certain modes, and so it might be that I might have to quit back to the menu and switch to the region or something. Okay, 8-man works fine. Let's go back to Cyberlip and see what happens.
Did you say 8-man or 8-man?
I said 8
It
man.
man.
Yeah, I said Ip Man.
4 coming soon to theaters and now
Say-
on Neo Geo.
Ip-man or Ip-yam?
Ooh, I got the Black Talon Catalyst. Great. I'm never gonna use.
There we go.
what's
That
it called the
sword's
Max 330.
Swords are dumb, man. Come on.
Yeah, but that sword's cool.
I
Does
mean,
it
it's
have
like a good-
330 of something?
A button shoots. The max, so the biggest a Neo Geo cartridge can be is 330 megs.
Megabits, I would assume.
That sounds right for a system that was originally made in 1990. But I
What
am.
is that, 48 megabytes?
I like, and when I say like, I mean actually don't like at all, that you can't shoot on an angle in this game.
41.25 megabytes.
That
So-
gun's got some real kickback, though.
It does. See, this was the problem with some early Neo Geo games, right? Like, this is a game that was released. If you wanted the home port of this game, it's not a port. If you wanted the home cartridge of this game, it was, $200 to $300 or whatever. This game can be beaten in like a half hour. Like, this is like shitty Contra, basically.
Ah, but
Doesn't
the
even look like you should
replayability.
beat it in half an hour.
And the idea that someone would shell out $200 for this game and then be like, "Oh, I have seen literally all this game has to offer," in
Sounds like you just can't handle the power of the Neo Geo.
oh, I can handle the power of the Neo Geo. Among us, how many of us have a Neo Geo sitting in their home that they're playing right this moment? Just me, baby.
Well, I'm not bad
Just
with money,
me.
so I don't have
Sounds to
one.
me like the rest of us told it no, and you weren't able to.
Oh no.
That you were like you couldn't resist the siren call of the
Uh-huh.
Neo Geo.
Yeah, you weren't strong enough.
Joe to however many megabits or whatever you just said, and you were like, "Oh baby, I gotta get my hands on
I
that."
gotta get my hands on the 100 mega shock.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. But I can handle the 100 mega shock.
I like how that thing is
I can
just a
control it.
gun.
It doesn't control me. I can control it.
That's
I mean,
right.
I'm
once you
in
have
charge.
Sound
I'm the
Shock,
boss.
You never go back.
Oh, damn. I remember this boss from Dark Souls 2.
Alex, didn't you spend $8 on a drop kick recently? Like, I don't know that you're
Today,
The
maybe.
flash, fucking flash. kick.
I technically spent $16 on 2 dropkicks.
Right. Okay.
Are
Cool.
they cheaper in bulk? Is there like
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
bulk
but
discount
it
on
is
drop
actually.
kicks.
He's gonna use that flash kick for like 200 hours, so it's probably worth it.
Yeah, dude, I'm already getting a lot of mileage out of it. I'm like,
Does it
I
hurt?
could shoot this guy, or I could do a way dangerous thing and run up and flash kick him. Wee!
I mean, I don't know, man. Once I got the thing that let me like power bomb dudes in Devil May Cry 5, I definitely was running up to dudes and power bombing
Yep.
them.
Exactly.
Well,
Or like,
Joe, thank
I'm-
you for showing me Cyberlip. You have taught
Yeah.
me that it's
Imagine
Be
if
careful,
Metal
I wish
Slug
more.
like wasn't good, and like that would be Cyberlip.
right. All right. Well, I'm gonna go then. I do hope you enjoy your birthday and the amazing graphics and sound of Cyberlip.
Of the Neo Geo, yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna call it a night pretty shortly here. So, but thank you for hanging out, Mike, and let me know when you get your DE10 Nano.
December 25th, I would assume.
All right.
Good night, folks.
I like.
Good night,
Night,
buddy.
Mike.
Bye.
Bye.
I miss him already.
Who?
No.
I just flash kicked the guy. See, I'm getting my money's worth.
Right. Of course you are. I like that when I get killed, I come in on like a little rocket sled.
You would like that.
I mean, it's just like we couldn't think of a good spawn point for your character, so we're just gonna put him on this thing that lets you like drop yourself off wherever you want on the screen.
That's pretty nice, actually.
I blow up real good. And then, like, I can just, like, kill these helicopter dudes really easily with my respawning rocket sled. This game is not good.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. You said like you were just killing dudes with a rocket sled. I'm like, that sounds kind of tight.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is kind of tight, but you have to keep dying to keep the rocket sled, you know? So, like,
Hey, if you got a bunch of quarters, that ain't no problem.
it's true. Well, I'm playing on a super gun, so all I have to do is, like, hit the designated insert coin button, and, like, I'm
See?
golden.
So I don't really know what you're saying here. This game sounds tight. Costs $50 to beat, but you got infinite money. So
It's true. You make a compelling argument, Alex.
yeah, I'm the best.
What a wolf? Well, hang
Well, that's
on.
what you said, right?
I mean, I don't know if I go that far.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say, Joe. Thank you. We both agree that I am.
You are the Shogun of Pleasanton.
I haven't lived there in like many years. I'm trying to think back.
That doesn't mean you're not the Shogun anymore, though.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
How are the Sharks doing this season?
I don't know, garbage. They're like,
Are you just not a hockey fan anymore because the Sharks aren't good? Like you just fair
I mean, I'm
weather
not
is-
paying super close attention. I watched the game the other day, but like, they're like okay. They're not gonna do anything really important, so I'm not like paying too close attention.
Should I go up or down, you
Like,
guys?
there's no way in hell they're gonna win this year.
Down.
So like, whatever.
No
Yeah, always go
chance.
down, dude.
All right, we're going
Yeah,
down.
You've always been down.
We're in the we're in the basement of this thing. Well, I'm sorry to hear that,
that
Alex,
band.
because the Capitals
Oh,
are the best team in the NHL. So
Hey, I didn't
Enough
even
of
know
that.
that.
well, now you know.
You don't even live there anymore.
Yeah, or you should be a Predators
I
fan
don't
now.
live in. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of am. Like, I peripherally am a Predators fan. If they're not playing the Caps, I root for the Predators, like for sure. I mean, I don't live in Milwaukee anymore either, but I'm like still a Brewer fan. I didn't fucking.
But you were
I didn't-
born and raised.
I
Yeah,
didn't
but I've
give
been
up
talking
on
shit
the-
about how you like baseball for like 10 years.
I didn't give up on the Green Bay Packers and like become a Titans fan. Like Jesus Christ! I mean, come on. No, I didn't. But I mean, I lived in Milwaukee for 30 years, but I also lived in DC for 6 years, and I've only lived in Nashville for like 10 months so far. So I'm not gonna give up on the Caps just because I've been in Nashville for 10 months. Plus, the Caps are really good. And Eric, I'm sure you know the Bucks are on a 15-game winning jag.
You're not allowed to like the Bucks. I tried to get you into them before it was cool, and you didn't take the bait, so you can't. You're not allowed to like them.
Not allowed to like them now.
Yeah, you had your chance, and you fucking squandered it. You pissed it away.
I mean, I'm as into them as I will ever be into a professional basketball team, which is to say, like, I'm peripherally aware that they're doing things that are good, and Giannis is super good, but, like, I haven't watched a complete game this season. But I watched the highlights.
I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah, me too.
See, even Anthony's pissed off.
Hmm. Especially me.
Yes.
I can't hold it in any longer.
You sound really full of rage right now, Anthony.
Yep,
I'm sorry.
And despite all that, he's still just a rat in a cage.
It's true.
Oh god. I think Smashing Pumpkins is like low key one of the like my least favorite bands on the planet. But I think it's like one of those things where it's like it's taken me like 30 years to realize that. You know, does that make sense?
I mean, kind of. It took me a really long time to realize that We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel is the worst pop song ever written. So I kind of feel what you're saying, except I like the Smashing Pumpkins, at least like up until...
I used to like them. I haven't listened to them.
I would say like Machina was the last thing they did that I liked, and like everything after that I can very much take or leave, or like just leave.
Can we at least agree that Bush's Machine Head is the funniest song ever written? Because that's just true.
I mean, he's got a machine head. It's
And you know what?
green
It's
to
better
red.
than the rest.
That's right.
It's better than the rest. And then just, I don't know, just from green to red. Oh yeah, by the way, Machine Head. It's like, what? The fuck does any of that mean?
I mean,
And then if you read if you look at all the lyrics, it's like I have no idea what that song is about, except just something totally stupid and bad and dumb. It's great. It's the best.
I actually like that record quite a bit, though. I mean, you're right. That song doesn't make any fucking
Oh,
sense.
God, Joe.
but-
God damn it. Why do you like everything that sucked?
I have a knack for it.
What's better, Joe, the album or the band or the song, Machine Head?
I would say...
There is a correct answer, apparently.
Yeah, I'm trying
Put
to
'em in order.
stratify.
Why don't
I
you
would
put
say
'em in
probably
order?
band,
Uh-huh.
album, song. I
Okay.
think is probably how I would go on that. But I like them all to varying degrees, you know. But yeah, I think
Whoa,
Okay,
what the
I'm
fuck
gonna
is
go-
going
here
on?
we
I got
go,
the
all
Lord
right.
of Wolves
Like-
catalyst?
the first couple
motherfucker.
of the first.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god.
Do you even
That's-
have a Lord
Are
of
you
Wolves?
guys playing
Yes.
together?
Oh.
No.
No. Okay.
It crashed. I couldn't make it work. Also, Alex is like he's too good to play with me anymore.
That's not true.
Alright.
We played the other day.
Tied to a wheel, fingers got to feel, bleeding through a tar decay smile. I spin on a whim, I slide to the right. I felt you like electric light. For our love, for our fear, for our rise against the years and years and years. Got a machine head, etc., etc., etc.
You can't skip over that part. That's the key
And
part.
I walk from my machine.
How are people gonna know it's better than the
breathe
other
in, breathe
one?
out, breathe
Yeah.
in, breathe out of, breathe in.
I don't think we. I mean,
Deaf, dumb, and 30, starting to deserve this, leaning on my conscience wall. Blood is like wine. Unconscious,
unconscious
all the time.
All the time, yeah.
If I
yeah.
had it all again, I'd change it all. Got a machine head. It's better
It's
than
better than the rest. Yeah, yeah.
Green to red machine head.
I think the
Got
thing
a
that cracks
mushroom
me up the
head.
most about that song is just where he just says from green to red. I'm like, what? What about it? Those are our two colors. Yes. What
you
are you
stop
saying?
and then you start.
yep.
And then you pop and then you fart. Got a machine head. green to
Excellent.
red.
You know, I don't think. I mean, like, there's a lot of songs that people like are quite fond of that have terrible and stupid lyrics.
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
songs that have terrible lyrics. It's fine. It's just this one is like a bad song with bad lyrics. So it's like, wow, you're doing great, guys.
I mean, it's no "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel, which is just fucking ass.
I can't even really like. I want to argue with you, but I can't.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean?
You can't. Exactly.
It's pretty bad.
It's really bad. And I'd always thought it was kind of innocuous. And I went to a party once, and some dude was just going off about like how garbage that song is, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You convinced me. That song is fucking terrible. And he was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's like because that's the thing. I know that song is bad, but I've never really. I'm always just like, yeah, whatever. I've never really thought about it. But now you're like, it's the worst song ever. I'm like, I don't know if I go that
I
far.
didn't
but
say
yeah,
I said the worst pop
close.
song ever. The worst
Well,
pop
but
song
I mean, I don't even know if that's still true. But it is very very bad.
Did you guys see Giant Bombs? Where is this? This
No.
is the whole list.
No, whatever you're
I
gonna
can
say,
answer
no.
that,
They
yeah.
did a. They did a. People were sending in their questions for the worst songs of the '80s.
Oh, I did see that actually.
And
I
then they
think.
did a whole stream where they just ranked, they just ranked 80s songs.
Okay.
I was trying to find the whole list, but I can't.
So you guys said always go down, and it seems like if I keep going down, I just end up in the same place. Like I'm replaying a stage that I've already played now because I went down again, and it just like dumped me back in the same basement level that I was playing before. Yeah, I feel like I saw like a thing where one person said like something, and Jeff Gerstmann was like, "What? No, that is crazy that anyone would think that's the worst song of the '80s." In fact, I think the song in question was from the '70s. Now that I'm thinking about whatever song it was.
Disco Inferno.
Oh, it was Werewolves of London,
Oh. That's crazy. Yeah, that's not.
and I
why
was
would-
like, one, that song rules, and two, not from the '80s, and three, that song rules.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good that Kid Rock sampled it.
Did he?
Oh,
Good
Yeah,
point.
didn't he? Isn't there? I'm pretty sure he did.
I know he sampled fucking Sweet Home Alabama, which is, I mean, a fucking nightmare of a song to begin
Maybe
with.
not. Maybe it's. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, he might have sampled.
I'm
fucking
embarrassed to
Werewolves of
admit that
London,
I'm
I
not
don't know.
that up on what Kid Rock's been up to.
I can't believe it. Oh, I'm up on some of what he's been up to because he happens to own a bar and restaurant. Excuse me, a big ass honky tonk in my current hometown. And apparently, like a week before Thanksgiving, he got hammered and went on this like bizarre rant about Oprah Winfrey and had to be like pulled off of stage by his handlers because he was acting like such a dipshit.
that's like so just a normal day at the office.
Yeah, just a regular day at the office for Kid Rock.
Yeah, like what? I thought you said something special happened.
I didn't say that. I
dumb
just said
man
I've been
with-
keeping up on what he's been doing.
Oh, that's true.
all
You
I
did.
said.
You did say that. You're right. I apologize.
So yeah, I mean, it was something about like Oprah Winfrey and she's mad because Donald Trump is the president or something, and he just like I don't know.
mean,
He's
For all
a
I
big
is.
Trump supporter.
for all
yeah.
I know, he just like puked and passed out on the stage. I don't really know for sure, but like
We can only hope.
what I do know is that like the fact that he owns an establishment here is like fucking embarrassing, and like he's not even like he's decided that he's like a country music person all of a sudden, even though like he broke in with like fucking rap rock. Like that's I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like the fact that people like Jason Aldean have restaurants and stuff here, like
Don't know who
that
is.
he's a country music singer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right. I mean, whatever. Or there's a Johnny Cash like cafe. There's a Sun Records cafe like on Broadway and stuff. Like that all makes sense. But like Kid Rock doesn't. It's not. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this
Kid Rock
big
sucks.
mutant dick that's trying to kill me.
Is it Kid Rock?
Yeah, different. It's a different mutant dick.
How does he feel about brown people?
Probably doesn't. I mean, I think the premise of this game
Well,
is that the aliens don't like people at all. So
He's not very, very favorable. Like,
yeah, but probably like more egalitarian than Kid Rock because I think he hates this thing wants to kill like all life on Earth. So
oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
he doesn't like exclusively hate.
He doesn't
brown
see
people.
color. He just wants to kill.
He just wants to kill. As opposed to Kid Rock, who is a fucking racist.
Right.
So.
So there's that.
Well,
What does the Lord of Wolves Catalyst even do? Let's find out.
I don't know. I'm pissed off that you got it though. You never even used that gun. I didn't even know you
I
had
don't think I've ever even used it yet.
Eric only has the Squire of Wolves Catalyst. And,
it. No, I mean I have a Lord of Wolves and I like it
Yeah,
a lot. It's
He
really
uses
good.
it all the time. Yeah. It used to be even better. But it's still good.
It still fucking shreds and.
Oh, Snarkcast
Yeah.
said he's going to bed. He's going to head off. So he's probably not watching anymore, but good night. And he says happy birthday. And I say thank you. But he probably isn't hearing that. So.
He says the Sharks are doing better lately.
And he says,
I
yes,
mean,
the
they
Caps
are.
are the
They
number one team in the NHL. Because I know he's a Caps fan. So.
Who?
The catalyst increases your reload speed when release the wolves is active
When
and
jumping.
stability when it isn't.
When sliding.
I would
When sliding.
think I
And
would rather
jumping.
have it be the opposite of that, but okay, whatever.
Look, I don't make the rules, man.
Just the boost
Don't
and
you?
stat is nice.
No, I don't. Talk to Bungie.
It should be the opposite of that though.
I will, mister.
Okay, tell them I want to like be able to put ornaments on exotics, like any ornament.
I'll pass it along.
They'll know what I'm talking about. They'll be like, you have to use the exotic ornament. We feel that people need to. It's like, no, dude, I gave you like $8 for a leather duster, and I want to wear that on my fucking Phoenix protocol, you asshole.
I agree completely.
Yeah, whatever
I just want to be a
whatever
guy in
Alex just
space
said.
who wears a cool coat and like shoots people with lasers. Is that so wrong?
You know, you could be that in real life.
You could do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to play a game. You could just go into space
Yeah,
with a
man.
leather jacket and do that.
That's right.
That is right, yeah.
Don't say you can't.
I think the whole
Because you'd
point.
be lying.
I think that there's probably a balance reason why they don't want to make exotics look like normal things, since exotics do special stuff.
There is. I know. But it's like, if you're playing PvE, who cares? You know
That's
what I mean?
true. But
Like,
then
just do
I
that
think
for
I think it might
PvP.
be a problem to do that, so it doesn't. So it like turns off automatically, and PvP might be an issue.
Yeah.
Look, man,
They're-
if you're
they
playing
don't
against a
wanna
guy
figure
with the sock head, then you got to see his sock head, so you know he's gonna be able to know where you are at all times.
I just, like I said, I want to be able to wear
Change your
Phoenix
name.
Protocol and the sweet leather jacket, and I can't do both at the same
You
time.
should change your name to PvP.
I can. It's very easy to do.
Uh-huh.
The Adventures of Pete v. Pete.
I kind of want to play that just to like have stupid names.
I mean, there's
That
a
is the
Twitter
most
account you can
Anthony
follow
thing.
That is.
Yeah, I know. But I want to contribute, except I don't want to play the game. I like your dude's hair, Jim.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think this is the.
Very 90s protagonist.
It is an extremely 90s video game protagonist. Spiky blonde hair and sunglasses.
Oh, I gotta fight the giant worm. Alright.
The giant worm.
Yeah, Zol or whatever. The dude on Mars. You remember the worm that's giant? That one.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that one in a long time, but I do remember it.
My favorite thing about this game is that the final thing is called Cyberlip, and it's literally just a computer mouth.
I mean,
True to its name,
Like,
I mean.
you're sort of like, that's a weird name. Maybe it's a mistranslation. Like, you get to the end and you're like, oh no.
Oh, it's a cyberlip. Oh, okay.
now give us a kiss.
Did you take that new scout rifle for a spin, Eric?
I used it like twice.
Okay, it's
I
really
don't know, what it's on auto fire with scout rifle, right? Is that the?
yeah. And it's if you get 15 headshots is the max. You get like every headshot you get a stack of And then when you get 15, which is the max, you can hold reload and switch to another mode that like gives you like heat-seeking bullets that are super strong and do AoE damage. And it's so you just like lay into a dude. Like I just shot a boss in the head 15 times, and now I'm doing my like super mode and blowing up everybody.
So one of my other favorite things about this game is that there's a power-up called Wide, but when you use it, your dude just like waves his gun around, and it's like, why did you need a power-up to do that? You
So
could
you
have
don't
just
have
been
to
waving your
fire your
gun
fingers
around
The power up changed his bone structure.
I was kind of hoping you were saying it was going to be like those boots in Symphony of the Night that make you 1 pixel taller.
1 pixel taller. Those boots are pretty good. There's Cyberlip.
They're made for walking, and
that's just what they'll
that's
do.
what they're going to do. Yeah. One day these 1 pixel boots will walk all over you. Oh boy.
I like. I'm really enjoying all the cyber teeth happening.
Yeah.
Hmm. Is that a brain?
No, man, it's a
Come out.
Cyberlip.
Oh, I see. What about the rest of them?
He's not Cyber Giant. It's Cyberlip, man. That is all of him.
Okay. Just asking. I'm just asking questions here.
It's been explained by the title, man. So
Name?
here's
Cyberlip.
here's
Type of person? Cyberlip. Occupation? Cyberlip.
Oh,
Is that James Woods?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the twist ending in this game, if you didn't know, is that you're actually the bad guy. Cyberlip
Razor
is
Ramon
trying
the
to
whole
protect.
time?
Yes, you're Razor Ramon the whole. Look at those sunglasses, man. Come on. No, your Cyberlip is trying to protect the Earth from the invading alien force, and you are the invading alien force.
Shit.
What a twist, right?
That
Before
is-
Bioshock Infinite, actually, blah, blah, blah. In this TED Talk, I will, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
it turns out you were actually Rick Bogner the whole time.
Oh, what a twist. Okay, Goo. Crazy Love. I love
Good
these.
job.
I love these credits. All right, well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for my birthday stream. It's 11 o'clock here, Central Time, which makes it midnight on the Beast Coast. So I think we're gonna say goodnight. But thanks to you guys for hanging out, and anybody who watched this or is watching the archive of it, thanks for watching it. And we'll be back tomorrow with something.
Yeah. we will.
Yeah!